You are listening to the Marc Guzman podcast experience.
So we're going to jump right into our very first topic, and it's broker price fixing. So recently, a big lawsuit has been filed in the world of real estate that has a lot of people very concerned, because depending on how this lawsuit goes, if the plaintiffs win in this case, it could change the entire real estate industry. And to give a little bit of background, the people that are suing the top brokers. You have Keller Williams. Who are the?
Well, Alon Pinnell was named in.
Was Alon Pinnell?
I believe so. Yeah. Remax, Keller Williams.
Okay, so they
Berkshire Hathaway,
like four
Reology.
Yeah, and Reology. Yeah, so they're suing four big brokerage companies, and basically what they're claiming is that because these brokers are so big and many of their agents are part of the National Association of Realtors, they use the MLS rules that the National Association of Realtors passes down to all realtor associations in order to influence how broker-buyer compensation is handled through buyer-broker agreements in order to inflate actual overall commission prices. So it's very interesting how they're approaching this, and it has a lot of people very concerned. I mean, what do you think about this, Brian?
Well, as I was kind of going through the complaint and some of the bullet points, I found a couple of things that I thought were not quite correct. I mean, again, to put things in context, when you, as a seller, decide to sell your home, you sign a listing agreement. And the original law that prohibited price fixing is that, otherwise known as collusion, is if several brokers within a community got together and I said, hey, Mark, let's not drop our commissions less than the typical 6%, or let's not increase our commissions above the typical 6%, right? Therefore, creating some type of a collusion and not creating a fair market. These were the ideas about price fixing. These particular items that they bring out about price fixing pertain to things like prohibiting buyers and sellers from negotiating a broker commission. Now, just taking that one example here, for instance, I've signed listing agreements, and some of them have varied from 4.5% to 5%, sometimes 6%. Of course, I'm always going to try to negotiate the highest commission. At the same time, looking out for the seller based on what they're going to net. But in all of these instances, the commission is always negotiable. The listing agreement in the past was designed so that a broker could sue and have a legal document in the event that the seller attempted to defraud the broker by not paying them a commission, or there's a lot of other different possible things that a seller could do. However, none of these particular items really, again, without looking at what the actual practices of Keller Williams are or the large companies that have been included in this, all of these different things are very negotiable, even if you do sign a listing agreement. There have been times where I've actually opted to reduce my commission, even though I have a signed listing agreement, so long as I agree to it, and so long as the seller agrees to it. And
now, that's just one aspect of the lawsuit.
Correct.
The other aspect is the MLS. What a lot of people don't understand is that many realtor associations actually own the local MLS. Brian.
This is being a bad. I'm not going to use that now.
You know what? You know the beauty of pre-recorded is we can just skip right ahead to it.
That's good.
And skip this part.
That's good. This will be edited later.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know that many realtor associations own or have some kind of vested interest in their actual MLS that they provide to their realtor association. Now, the problem with this lawsuit is that it claims that there's violations of the Sherman Antitrust Act. And so if the judge eventually rules in favor of the plaintiff, you may see a lot of realtor associations have to separate themselves from actual MLS ownership. If that happens, it's going to be very interesting to see what really happens to these realtor organizations, because many of them really depend on the income that comes in from these MLSs. And if that income disappears, now you're going to have some associations, and I think a lot of the smaller associations that will struggle in order to survive. So it could change the entire landscape of the realtor associations membership, and it's from a realtor association perspective, I think it's pretty scary.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And just to wrap things up, kind of stay tuned as the lawsuit unveils, because there's a lot of different points here that really need to be vetted out to determine where this all lands.
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Thank you to our producer, Sam Lubman. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share the podcast. Remember, you can listen to the podcast on iTunes, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Google Play, SoundCloud, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts. For more information on my business as a property manager and real estate team, go visit my website at marcguzman.com. I really want to thank all of you for listening. It means the world to me, and I hope today's episode provides you value in your day-to-day life. I created this podcast to help showcase the many great people that live in this world and help share some knowledge that I've learned along the way in life. Again, thank you for listening. Check out our sponsors, and I'll catch you on the next episode.